What are the principles followed for explosion prevention in underground coal mines? Principles of explosion prevention in underground coal mines. So today we are going to discuss about fires and explosions issues in coal mines, explosion prevention, fundamental principles, gas drainage and control, safety measures to minimize the risks, proactive measures to minimize explosion risks in GOP areas, risk assessment and management systems, and conclusion. So today's class will deal with introduction to fires and explosion issues in coal mines, explosion prevention, the fundamental principles, gas drainage, methane gas drainage and control, methane gas control, what safety measures to be taken to minimize the risks, proactive measures, proactive measures to minimize explosion risks in coal mine GOP areas, risk assessment, fire and explosion risk assessment and management systems, and conclusions. So let us see how we can discuss this in this presentation. Okay, so this is the fire and explosions are very highly critical issues in coal mines. Fire and explosions are considered to be highly critical issues in coal mines. Severe consequences may occur for the people and for the mine and for the industry. If any fire and explosion is there in your mines, severe consequence should be there for the people, for the mining authority, for the mining industry. And it is very high cost of dealing with explosions. If explosions are there in your mine, it is very costly affair to deal with the explosion. So these fire and explosion issues in coal mines, coal seam gas, methane gas, coal seam gas is mostly methane gas, which is associated with coal mines. Coal mining, methane gas is released. Whenever you are going for coal mining, methane gas is released, and the gas emitted from the coal mines is mixed with the mine air. Explosive range of methane gas we have discussed, that is 5% to 15%, and higher percentage in GOP areas, higher percentage in GOP areas. So methane gas explosions can lead to devastating dust explosions. We have discussed that if there is methane gas explosion in your mines, it can lead to dust explosion. It can lead to devastating dust explosion, coal dust explosion. It is a very higher risk in gassy coal mines. The coal mines are categorized into gassy 1, gassy 2, gassy 3. So there is higher risk in gassy coal mines. Explosion risk in low to medium gassy mines due to reduced attention. Explosion risk in sealed off areas in sectionalized areas. Fires can generate high carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas and form explosive mixtures in sealed off areas. Nose point for oxygen becomes 5% if carbon monoxide and hydrogen are the dominant gases, 12% for methane. So this is the fire triangle we have discussed. This triangle is called the fire triangle. For the fire to take place, oxygen is necessary, heat is necessary, fuel is necessary. So fuel, heat, oxygen, these three things are necessary for a fire to take place. So this is called your fire triangle. This is called your fire triangle. So the fires and explosions in coal mines, gas in generally body of mine air, methane gas in general body of mine air due to outbursts, due to accumulations, due to air blasts. Both areas of working panels, sealed off or sectionalized mining areas, ventilation systems inadequate or failure. If the ventilation system is inadequate or if the ventilation fails, then there is fire and explosion risk is there in your coal mines. If the methane gas drainage system is inadequate, you are not able to drain out the methane gas from the mines. If the provision is inadequate or if there is failure to drain out the methane gas from the mines, so there will be fire and explosion in your mines. Management systems inadequate or failure. If the mine management system is inadequate or fails to deal with the methane gas, then also there will be fire and explosion risks in your coal mines. External ignition sources. If there is an external ignition source is present in your mines like electrical shocks, electrical sparks, belt, frictional belt conveyors, contrabands. So these are the external ignition sources which can initiate the fire. Inherent ignition sources are spontaneous combustion of coal and coal cutting machines. So if the coal catches fire automatically because of the spontaneous combustion of coal, so that is the inherent ignition source in coal mines. And in coal mines, you use the coal cutting machines. So while cutting the coal also, the coal cutter can generate sparks, and these sparks can be the potential source of fire and explosion in coal mines. And if there is inadequate or lack of gas monitoring, the methane gas monitoring system should be carried out regularly in the mines. If it is inadequate, if it is lacking, then there is risk of fire and explosion in your coal mines. So these fires and explosions issues in coal mines are of very big in nature, not just an issue related to ventilation officer or safety officer. The fire and explosion is not just an issue related to ventilation officer or safety officer of the mine. Fires and explosions in both areas very complicated issue. Depends on coal left in the boat, location of the rider, or split seams, spontaneous combustion of coal seams, spun propensity of coal seams, ventilation system and other mining parameters. If your ventilation system is not adequate, so there will be also risk of fire and explosion. Ventilation system and other mining parameters also contribute for the fire and explosion in coal mines. Geological structures like seam contours, faults, dikes, they also contribute for the fire and explosion risks in coal mines. Geotechnical parameters, caving characteristics of the rock and coal, strong roof areas also are the responsible factors for the fire and explosion issues in coal mines. Production schedules and stoppages, oxygen ingress patterns into the roof areas, power failure, barometric pressure changes in the mines, adjacent shield of panel conditions like your geometry and heatings. So these are the parameters which influence the coal mine fires and explosions. Fundamental understanding of all inherent risk parameters is critical for prevention of explosions in coal mines. So let us discuss the fundamental principles used for explosion prevention. How to prevent explosion? Explosion prevention, you know that prevention is better than the cure. So if you take some preventive measures, then there will be no explosion, there will be no fire in your mines. So what explosion prevention activities you should take in your minds so that this hazard will not occur in your minds? What is the fundamental principles used for explosion prevention? First fundamental principle is avoiding explosive gas accumulation in general body of the mine air. The methane gas should not be accumulated in the general body of the mine atmosphere. You should take control measures, control of potential ignition sources. You should take appropriate measures to control the potential ignition sources. Third, gas drainage and control. The gas should be drained out from the mine. The methane gas should be drained out from the mine by taking proper safety measures. Then the other fundamental principle of explosion prevention is minimizing explosion risk in GOF area, in the sealed off areas, by doing comprehensive gas monitoring. The gas accumulation, gas emission parameters are to be monitored properly by using various equipments. Proactive measures are to be taken to minimize the explosion risk in GOF areas. Then you should have explosion-proof seals. Explosion-proof seals stopping should be there so that in the GOF area you are not allowing the oxygen to enter to the GOF areas. The other fundamental principles of explosion prevention is just following regulations. Coal mines regulations is not good enough. Just following coal mines regulation would not be good enough. you require additional site-specific measures. You need to take additional site-specific measures. And you have to also go for extensive risk assessment and proactive control measures are to be taken. Extensive risk assessment study is to be carried out in your mind, and accordingly you have to take proactive control measures. So the explosion prevention fundamental principles are avoiding explosive gas accumulation. The methane gas should not be accumulated in the mines. You should avoid accumulation of methane gas, explosive gas in your coal mines. To prevent pockets of gas from forming, the work area must be properly ventilated at all times with good ventilation standards. So what is to be done to remove the methane gas from the mines? You have to go for adequate ventilation. Proper ventilation standards are to be maintained in the mines. Gas to be diluted below 1% to 2% in roadways with ventilation. So it should not be allowed to go to 5% because you know that if methane concentration is 5%, so it is liable to fire and explosion. So you should not allow to build up the methane content more than 2% in your mines by following the proper ventilation system in the roadways. So ventilation flow modifications should be done. Devices near the mining machines, cutting zones to minimize the gas accumulation. If necessary, you have to modify the ventilation flow system. You have to use devices near the mining machines and cutting zones to minimize gas accumulation, methane gas accumulation. Maintain minimum air velocities to maintain minimum air velocity to minimize gas layering. Well ventilated belt roadways in gas seams to minimize accumulation of gas emissions from hot coal on the belt. Gas drainage, either pre-drainage or post-drainage if required. The methane gas should be drained out before mining or after mining so that there is no accumulation of methane gas in your mines. So these are the fundamental principles, fundamental activities carried out in the mines to prevent explosion in the coal mines so that the methane gas will not accumulate, because methane gas is explosive gas which should not be accumulated in the mines. Second measure is control of potential ignition sources. The ignition source should be absent in the mines. Control of potential ignition sources. Flame-proof and intrinsically safe systems should be used in the mines. Make sure the equipment used in coal mines does not have defects that can create sparks and set off explosion. Electrical cables maintenance should be of good standard. Methane gas and dust explosion can also be triggered by frictional ignition, heat and sparks produced by the mining equipment. Maintain sharp peaks, avoid cutting roof or floor, zero tolerance to contrabands. No miners, nobody should be allowed to take contrabands to the mines, coal mines. Spontaneous combustion prevention and control measures should be taken so that the coal does not catch fire. So these are the control measures you have to take to avoid the potential ignition sources in coal mines. So how the gas is drained out, how the gas is controlled. For explosion prevention, you have to drain out the methane gas, and you have to control the emission of the methane gas or accumulation of the methane gas. So gas drainage, methane gas drainage and control measures are to be taken, like gas drainage may be necessary, methane gas drainage may be necessary in gassy mines to minimize excessive gas emissions into mine's general body of the air. However, gas drainage may also create additional explosion risks if not carried out appropriately and safely. So while doing the gas drainage, it may also create additional explosion risks if not carried out appropriately and by following safety procedures. So the methane gas drainage systems require safety measures to minimize explosion risks in underground coal mines. You can carry out pre-drainage before the mining is done. You can drain out the methane gas. That is called our pre-drainage. Or after the mining, you can go for post-drainage, also known as GOF gas drainage, also known as GOF. So this gas drainage infrastructure in the underground and in the surface, you should have to drain out the methane gas from the mines. So before mining, pre-drainage of methane gas is done to prevent the explosion in the mines. Underground or surface to in-sim technologies can be used. Underground or surface to in-sim technologies can be used. Underground pre-drainage system, there are some risks and safety measures to be followed. Generally, high purity gas, generally 70% to 90% gas. Minimize air leakages at cola of drainage holes. Otherwise, gas percentage can be explosive in nature. Making sure holes do not intersect or holes end up close to roadways. Making sure drivages do not intersect pre-drainage holes filled with gas. Surface to in-sim pre-drainage, there are some risks and safety measures associated with it. Flame traps to be installed between drainage holes and pumps. Lightning arresters to be installed at all drainage holes and pumps. Sealing of all boreholes after completion of drainage operations. Making sure underground drivages do not intersect SIS drainage holes. SIS drainage holes. Surface to in-sim drainage holes. SIS means surface to in-sim drainage holes. All holes to be surveyed and marked on the mine plans. All drainage holes to be monitored. All methane gas drainage holes to be monitored for gas percentage and flow rates. Then sometimes also you can do the post drainage after the mining. Underground or surface to in-sim technologies are used for post drainage of methane gas. Underground post drainage risks and safety measures you have to take care. Gas purity can vary significantly from 5% to 90% depending on conditions and design of the surface to in-sim technologies. Make sure GOF gas drainage, does not induce air into the GOF area. Gas concentration in GOF holes should be above 30%, preferably above 40%. Do not drain gas at explosive gas mixture composition. Surface GOF holes also can be tried, but there are some risks and safety measures to be taken while carry out surface GOF holes. Gas purity in surface GOF holes varies from 40% to 90%. Holes shut off if gas purity falls below 40%. Flame traps to be installed between drainage holes and pumps and ventures. Lightning arresters to be installed at all drainage holes and pumps. Sealing up all boreholes after completion of drainage operations. All drainage holes to be monitored for gas percentage and flow rates. So the gas drainage infrastructure, underground or surface infrastructure, underground pipelines should be enough capacity, should have enough strength and of integrity so that no leakage is there. Make sure that explosive gas mixtures, methane gas explosive mixtures are not transported in underground pipes. Underground pipes installation to minimize damage from vehicles, collapse, etc. Positive pressure pipelines, gas leak, and negative pressure pipelines, air leak, surface pipes, safety and security. Safety systems to make sure GOF holes are short. If gas percent falls below set limit, continuous monitoring of all gas drainage lines and pumps. Proactive measures to minimize explosion risks in GOF areas. What measures to be taken to minimize explosion risks in GOF areas? As an example, all these measures are additional to what was recommended in coal mines regulations. Approach, integrated approach, extensive field monitoring studies for GOF gas distribution, data interpretation, computational fluid dynamics modeling techniques should be used, field trials should be carried out. Fundamental understanding of GOF gas flow patterns, investigation of the effect of various parameters, development of optimum strategies, field implementation. Field GOF gas monitoring, typical mine data. So you just see here, this is the oxygen ingress zone in the GOF area. This is the GOF area. This is the coal mining phase. This is the phase. This is the phase where the coal is mined. And this is the GOF area. This is the GOF area where you have already mined out the coal. So this is called the GOF area. This is the GOF area. Okay. And this is the oxygen ingress zone in the GOF. Here, this is the oxygen ingress. Oxygen can get into this GOF area. This is the oxygen ingress area into the GOF area. So if the oxygen will enter to this GOF area, then there will be explosion. So this is a longwall mining. So phase is advancing in this direction. Phase is advancing in this direction and leaving behind the GOF area. So this is the longwall startup. From here you started the mining, and this is the boundary. This is the This is the stopping, and you have started mining from here, and this is the face area. Advancing is the TG, the tail gate. This is the main gate. So through this main gate, fresh air is going. This green light, fresh air is going, and fresh air is ventilated in this uh, working phase. And these are the sealed off areas, red zones. These are sealed off areas. These are sealed off areas, and return air comes out through the tailgate. Through this tailgate, the foul air is coming out. So this is the phase, longwall phase. You have to measure the oxygen percentage, carbon dioxide percentage, methane gas percentage, nitrogen percentage by gas monitoring system. Okay, so oxygen percentage greater than 17% at 400 meter behind the phase on main gate side. On main gate side, oxygen percentage here 17.2. Oxygen percentage greater than 17.2% at 400 meter behind the phase on the main gate. This is the main gate. This is the main gate through which, and this is the area where the oxygen percentage more than 17.2%. High oxygen ingress into the GOP can take place here, may lead to heatings when coal left in GOP is prone to spontaneous combustion. In the GOP area, certain coal is left out, so this coal left in the GOP area is very prone to spontaneous heating because of the oxygen percentage is greater than 17% here. Phase stops or slows down outside of geologically disturbed areas. Phase stops or slows down outside of geologically disturbed areas. So this is the layout, field GOP, gas monitoring, typical mine data. So here the oxygen percentage is 20.1%, carbon dioxide is 0.8%, methane is 0.2%, and nitrogen is 77.2%. Here your oxygen is 17.9%, carbon dioxide is 2.9%, methane is 1.6%, nitrogen is 76.2%. Here the oxygen is 17.2%, carbon dioxide is 2.3%, methane is 4.4%, nitrogen is 73.1%. And on the tailgate side, this is the main gate, this is the tailgate side. Here the oxygen is 6.3%, carbon dioxide is 8.8%, methane is 21.9%, nitrogen is 54.8%. Here oxygen is 2.2%, carbon dioxide is 22.5%, methane is 29.1%, for nitrogen is 41.2%. Like that, the gas monitoring is carried out in the GOP area, in the field GOP area, to know the problems associated with methane gas explosion. So the field monitoring is carried out in the GOP heating development areas. GOP heating development, heating gases in ppm, parts per million, carbon monoxide, hydrogen, This is the GOP, this is the face, this is the main gate, this is the tail gate. Early stages of heating development takes place. Carbon monoxide over 250 ppm, low hydrogen, no change in return carbon monoxide. Here, advanced stage, after 3 weeks, high carbon monoxide, hydrogen and spread, no significant change in return carbon monoxide. High carbon monoxide and hydrogen in the GOP area with no significant change in lung-wall return. So, just monitoring lung-wall return gas percentage would not be sufficient to prevent fires and explosions in GOP areas. Even in board and pillar panels, which are very short, no significant change until it is too late. Data interpretation is very critical. For example, carbon monoxide reading reduced at seen near the heating due to changes in ventilation system, but heating not reduced. Heating gases accumulations in the GOP area, carbon monoxide readings and changes at different locations depend on GOP flow patterns. Carbon monoxide to be read in combination with other gases, particularly oxygen. So for that, the computational fluid dynamic modeling investigation is carried out. This is the GOP area, this is the face area, this is the main gate, this is the tail gate. Green light, green arrow is the main gate, red arrow is the tail gate, this is the GOP area, and this is the face. So computational fluid dynamic modeling investigation is carried out for the gas concentration in the GOP area. Lung-wall GOP model development, 3D model, multiple gases, methane gas, oxygen, carbon dioxide gas, nitrogen gas, both turbulent and laminar flows, steady state and transient stage, GOP gas flow mechanics, simulation of complex GOP gas flow patterns, oxygen ingress patterns under different scenarios, parametric studies with changes in parameters, inotization simulations with different strategies. So the oxygen ingress, this is the main gate, this is the tail gate. Oxygen is allowed to go here. This is the GOP area. So oxygen ingress patterns in lung wall GOP, this is the GOP area. Base model results for a typical mine, oxygen concentration from 0.21 to 21%. So oxygen is greater than 14% at 350 meters behind the face. 350 meters behind the face. So the oxygen ingress depends on a number of parameters like your panel layout, ventilation system, seam gradients, caving characteristics, faults, geological faults and dikes, seal leakages, gate roads, support, GOP gas emissions, gas drainage, etc. So, what will be the effect of GOP gas emissions on oxygen ingress? Let us see the effect of GOP gas emissions on oxygen ingress. Is the main gate, tail gate. Oxygen percentage is greater than 14% at 350 meters behind the face. In this case, low to moderate GOP gas emission scenario 600 liters per second. In the second diagram, oxygen percentage is greater than 10% at 250 meter behind the phase. High GOP gas emission scenario, 3000 liters per second gas emission is there. High oxygen in low gases seems more heating issues are there. However, just depending on high GOP gas emissions is not good enough and may give false confidence and misleading sometimes. So the gas should be inertized. The gas, methane gas, should be inertization procedure should be followed to inert the gases. The explosive gas, methane gas, should be made inert by doing simulation study and field studies. The proactive inertization methods to be followed. Traditional practice just behind the phase. Current lukewarm airflow rates 50 to 80 cubic meter per second. Comparatively, low inert gas rates 0.1 to 1 cubic meter per second. Optimum inertization strategies critical. Extensive modeling and field investigation with different inert gas flow rates. Location for inert gas injection. Inert gas on main gate or tailgate side. Inert gas types. Panel geometries, ventilation conditions, etc. So you have to send some inert gas to neutralize the methane gas. So the flow rate of inert gas injection close to the tube. You have to inject the inert gas to the GOF area. So no inert gas injection is carried out here in the figure A. In the figure B, inert gas at the rate of 0.5 cubic meter per second, and in the figure C, inert gas is injected at the rate of 1 cubic meter per second. So you see the change in the diagram, concentration of methane gas in the Langwar GOF area. Okay. So location of inert gas injection. No inert gas injection in this case. Inert gas at 30 meter behind the phase at the rate of 0.5 cubic meter per second. Inert gas at 200 meter behind the phase at the rate of 0.5 cubic meter per second. So this is the most effective. This is not effective. Oxygen is less than 5% at 100 meter behind the phase. So these field results and proactive inertization carried out in mine A is showing this figure. Oxygen ingress into the GOF area before proactive inertization, and oxygen ingress into the GOF area after proactive inertization. The gas monitoring is carried out before oxygen ingress into the GOF before proactive inertization. Oxygen percentage was 17.2%, 2.3% carbon dioxide, like that. Then after inertization, you just see oxygen percentage has reduced to 0.6%, carbon dioxide is 0.6.7%, methane is 17.4%, and your nitrogen is 75.3%. So oxygen ingress into the GOF after proactive inertization. The gas monitoring is carried out and found that the methods are very effective. And field results, proactive inertization in mine B. This is oxygen ingress into the GOF before proactive inertization. Oxygen ingress into the GOF after proactive inertization. This is the result given here. So the inertization simulations in board and pillar mining method is also carried out. So no inert gas injection, the red zone. Inert gas injection through top roadway near the intake. Inert gas injection at in-by locations in the road. So effect of inert gas injection location on oxygen distribution in board and pillar panels. So field results of board and pillar mining inertization, effect of proactive inertization on GOP gas distribution in board and pillar panels, comprehensive gas monitoring. Comprehensive gas monitoring is also a proactive approach. In addition to extensive mine-wide gas monitoring, additional gas monitoring is recommended for GOP areas and sealed-up areas. Tube bundle monitoring points moved with phase retreat with the phase go. You see the go. Okay. So extensive GOP gas monitoring recommended for early detection of heatings in the GOP areas. In the GOP areas, monitoring locations in the critical points, tube bundle monitoring, and weekly, fortnightly batch sampling. The proactive inertization may be required to reduce oxygen ingress into GOP areas of working panels. High GOP gas emissions alone may not be sufficient. Inertization just behind the phase not effective. Inert gas injection at 200 to 400 meters behind the phase. Inert gas flow rates of around 0.5 at the rate of 0.5 to 1 cubic meter per second. Inert gas injection on in-by side of suspected heatings, fires, continuous inertization preferred, no intermittent. Explosion proof seals, panel seal up. Okay, so you have to carry out the risk assessment and management systems. Risk assessment, comprehensive risk assessment management processes, fundamental understanding of all inherent risk parameters, ventilation, gas drainage, power failure, barometric pressure changes, air blasts, etc. External, electrical, inherent ignition sources, guidelines in the event of gas outbursts, gas emissions, guidelines in the event of power, fan failures. Risk assessments should involve experienced people and external experts. Hazard identification process from risk assessment. Trigger action response plans to be developed. Gas outburst, sudden inrush of gas, all near miss gas frictional ignition incidents to be investigated, periodic safety auditing of mines to identify the risk behavior, and the management system is explosion prevention management plans, identification of explosion risk zones, regulations, education and training, regular updates on explosion prevention technology, safety culture, dust control management plans, mine management systems, workers' participation, ensure all contractors follow the mine safety systems, dynamic emergency response management systems. All these things should be taken by the management. Then emergency preparedness. Surface and underground infrastructure for fire control, comprehensive gas monitoring, including GOP gas and sealed off area gas, personal location monitoring systems, life support systems, emergency escape systems, reliable communication systems, inertization pipe network, proactive inertization into the GOP area, emergency management guidelines. Then finally, conclusion, fires and explosions are the severe consequences in the coal mines. Fundamental understanding of inherent risks associated with coal mining operations, good ventilation standards, adequate gas drainage and control system, risk assessment and management processes, proactive control measures, site-specific explosion prevention plans, education and training, safety first culture, and workers' participation, management, policies, organization structure, etc. So this is all about today's class. Today is 8th October. So next week there will be no class. From 10 to 17 there will be no class because of the Puja vacation. So your Durga Puja vacation, for 1 week there will be a break. During this period you have to study for your mid-semester examination. Your mid-semester examination is starting from 21st. Starting from 21st of your this month, October, Monday, 18th, 19th is Tuesday. One class is there. On that day, I will tell you the question pattern. So you study during this period for 1 week about the subjects, whatever is taught till now. Whatever is taught till now, the questions will come for your mid-semester examination. So please be alert during this vacation also. I may send some messages. I may give some reading materials. I may also do some other quiz or anything, whatever, if I get time. Okay, so that is why you should be attentive to my WhatsApp messages and telephoning calls. So this is all of that today's class. So we have discussed till now many topics, like we have discussed many topics like your underground coal mine fire, underground mine hazards and safety, coal seam fire and spontaneous heating of coal, spontaneous combustion of coal, then danger due to fire and inundation, fire risk assessment, mine fire, carbon monoxide oxygen ratio, carbon dioxide oxygen ratio, methane gas in coal mines, stone dust barriers, 3-layer protection of coal dust explosion and prevention of methane gas explosion and coal dust explosion. And today we have discussed about the preventive measures taken to avoid the coal mine fire and explosion. So this, whatever is taught, all the materials are available in the Microsoft team. All the files are available in the Microsoft team. You can download, you can read, you can mug up for the examination purpose. The examination date and time will be given to you. So this is all about I want to tell you today. Thank you for your patient hearing. Have a good day. I wish you all a very happy Durga Puja. Thank you.